Ladies and gentlemen, the most miserable show on turf, the Florida State Cinnamon Rolls, shout out Matt B. Diddy, are back to play football, and that is very, very bad for anybody in the Tallahassee, Florida area. Look, ladies and gentlemen, today, same old, same old. We're just going to predict the game. They do play on Friday against the Duke Blue Devils, who happen to be 5-1 against the previous Texas Longhorn, Mr. Malik Murphy. So some interesting storylines here, some interesting things to be talked about. We're going to dive in here and just go straight from stats. Now, we usually take a peek at some videos, and I think we could, but I'm gonna leave Florida State alone. I don't want to just come here and antagonize what they got going on. So let's just clean slate. Let's assume that the main man, the backup gentleman, is gonna be in there. Psych. Yeah, we're still doing that. Now let's get into a few of these videos. Of course, Mr. Brock Glenn is confirmed to make his second start. You can see him right here, trotting out in the field. A lot of moxie in this kid, a lot of confidence in this kid. I like what I saw from him. I think he breathed in some good life for Florida State. So to be honest with you, I think in this lulling, sleeping Florida State team has a chance to, maybe upset this 5-1 Duke team that's also been kind of floating under the radar, who had high expectations and seems to be, with a 5-1 record, seems to be able to actually execute on those if things go the right way. But can Florida State be a road gap? We're going to have to see. But I do want to talk about a few of these conversations because Mr. Norvell, of course, addressed some things talking about how there are definitely some players capable on this team. Clearly, there's talent, but it just needs to be brought together. And also, he had to eliminate some music at practice. That's a terrible scene. That's a terrible time to see. So I just wanted to make sure that we knew that Mr. Brock Glenn was confirmed. But let's hear.
See from them, or what have you seen from them?
Improvement, response. There's plenty of people that have become superstars and that have been put on a bench. I mean, that's but if you sit there and you stay on the bench, that's on you. If you respond to it, if you continue to fight to be better, to be more consistent, to go out there and to make the plays when you get opportunities. I mean, we got guys on this team that they're very capable of more, and if they can show that they're going to respond the right way and they take advantage of the ones that they get, they'll get.
Well, it seems like after the 1-in-5 start, he finally decided to start benching some of these players who are clearly here just for NIL checks, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I do want to. I want to say something. I'm not going to be Coach JB and blame the 18 to 22, 25-year-olds at this point, kids getting bags in college football. What I will say is, as a head coach, you need to be able to know how to mitigate those things and how to galvanize a team, and knowing that you have such a heavy transfer portal, knowing that these people are getting NIL bags. How do I push these people in the correct way? And it seems like he's just not figuring out. And it's a different landscape. I'll give Mr. Norvell some grace, because he's shell-shocked about how terrible this team is.
We don't control the atmosphere, but we do control ourselves, and making sure that regardless of any artificial energy or anything that's from the outside, let's make sure we go out there and we control what we do, and it's players, coaches, everybody involved, and ultimately that was something that I just wanted a little change up in regards to that, and because you can.
Yeah, the response in the locker room was, "Hey, I was pissed off, guys. Turn the music off." Now let's get into some stats, man. Let's get into some stats. Over the last 5 games, as you see, the Magic Predictor does not have Duke as that much of a heavy favorite. Over under, Duke's only getting 3 points. Is this at home? Hold up. Is this Duke at home? All right, over the last 5, last team you lose to being Georgia Tech is very, very tough if you're a Duke team, because this Georgia Tech team has kind of been up and down, left and right. So that's not a great thing to do in the ACC, being 1-1 in your conference, and also FSU being an ACC inter-ACC conference rival, not really a rival, but inter-conference. If you lose here, this is gonna be very, very bad, very, very bad. But again, they're coming off of that bye week too, so both of these teams should be pretty fresh. Coming off a game from Florida State where they kind of shocked Clemson. I know the score doesn't look like that, but Clemson should have rolled FSU, and the fact that they only beat them 29-13 and Brock Glenn had some decently bright spots, I think is again something that Florida State fans can hang their hats on. Not this 42-16 loss to SMU, even though SMU now ranked, now looking like a decent team, and then your best win in your only win against Cal, which is a pretty decent defense. When we look at this season in totality and look at who lost to who, I think it's going to look a little different. That's just my opinion. I think we're going to be like, oh, wow, FSU not only had to deal with injuries and DJ Ukulele, because that's just dealing with that as a team. I mean, as Clemson can set you back a few years. And then you have to deal with basically what's looking like a decent buzzsaw. I mean, Boston College is heralded as one of the better teams in the ACC. Memphis is a good team. Cal has a great defense. SMU is a ranked team, one of the most promising teams, which is looking like out of the Big 12, which the Big 12 is looking great. Wait, are they in the ACC or the Big 12? ACC, I apologize. Looking like one of the good teams in the ACC. And then, of course, Clemson, top ranked, top 15. So it's looking a little different. It's looking like a lot of hard games, but at the same time, a lot of pitiful performances come from them. And then with Duke, I mean, going overtime with a Northwestern, barely beating UConn, rolling Middle Tennessee, and then barely beating UNC is not the greatest, slate of wins. And then you go ahead and lose against GT. So this is definitely a team where Florida State has a chance to make something happen here. They're coming off that nasty loss. Now they should be energized, but Florida State has a nothing to lose mentality. So it's going to be interesting to see. Looking at some of the rankings for Florida State, by the way, Florida State is, let me see if it shows you, because I was doing another video. They are, yeah, there it is. They are the worst in the nation at yards or rush. They have the worst rushing offense in FBS Division I football, period. I talk about this a lot in my other videos. If you can't run the ball, if you can't control the possession of a game, you can't win, big homie. So they need to change that immediately. Even though, I mean, their offense is also bottom of the league. So let's continue to look at the misery and see, is there any bright spots in this FSU offense or defense? And really look at what they're going at. So points a game, number 125 at 14.8 yards a game, number 126, just bottom of the league. Yards of play, 126, 124 for third down conversions, which of course y'all know is one of my most important stats in all, and I think that determines a lot of winning there. Red zone scoring at number 73, middle of the pack-ish, top of the bottom there. There you go. Hey, opponent's points per game, number 66, again, middle there. Opponent's yards a game at 401 at 84. Opponent's points a game at number 57, number 71, opponent's yards a game, and third down conversions, bottom of the league again at 106. Not phenomenal on either side here. So not a lot of bright spots. And let's pop over and see what kind of offense and defense are they going over. They're going against, so it seems to be a mid. Here we go. Oh no. This is before looking at anything and comparing. When I talk about third downs, man, look at this. Look at this. They are one of the worst teams in the nation on converting third downs, the Duke Blue Devils, but they are top 15 at stopping teams on third down, which is probably the main reason they were able to sneak out some of those wins. When you have a defense that can get off the field and keep giving your offense more opportunities, it's hard to lose. But man, this might actually be detrimental to Duke. The fact that the defense can continue to get off the field, not that that's bad, but because it seems that the offense can't stay on the field because they can't convert on third downs. 26%. They've converted 26% of third down. They might as well not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're top 69 or top 70 in fourth down conversion. You might as well go for it on fourth down because you have about a quarter of a chance of converting. That's absurd. Red zone scoring, though, mid at 84. Like, this is not a great team statistically, dog. But going to their defense, which seems to be decent, mid to top-ish. There you go. Points a game at number 26, number 37, and opponent's yards a game. Opponent's points a game at number 12, and then number 13 at opponent's yards of play. That could suffocate this offense that seems to not have any spark. But then again, I like Brock Glenn. I like what he's showing. I like the moxie. Can moxie turn into touchdowns? We're going to have to see. Third down conversion, like we talked about, elite, and then opponent's red zone scoring, a little bit mid there. We don't like to see that. Switching over to the rushing side of things, this seems to be a mid to bottom, of a rushing attack there. So, decent there for Florida State's chances. And then for Duke, we've got a for their defense, we've got a mid to bottom of the league when it comes to Duke's defense. Now, continue forward for the rushing side on FSU. Obviously, just the worst rushing attack of all time. So, that's not really going to be a core breaker or bender here. And then from the defensive side, they're mid. They're not terrible. They're mid when it comes to the rushing defense, mid to bottom of the league, going straight to passing statistics. Now we're starting to see some different things here. We have pass completion at 126. Okay, that's not good. But passes a game at 45. So they throw it a lot. No, that's terrible. Interceptions thrown, 102, almost bottom of the league, and quarterback sack, middle to bottom of the league there. FSU defense, on the other hand, pass play, they get passed on a decent, or I guess not a lot. So there you go. Opponent's pass completion, not great, but number 80, about mid there. Opponent's pass yards a game, more mid, more top of the mid, and then bottom of the mid in interceptions thrown. Got to be able to generate turnovers, because if I go to the turnover statistics, middle when it comes to the FSU turnover margin, giveaways a game, and then the defense just very, very mid, bottom of the league when it comes to them generating turnovers. So looking at the passing offense for them Duke Blue Devils at a 89 when it comes to pass completion, yards of play at 86, 43 when it comes to pass a game, don't really matter. 229 yards, pass yards a game at 59, about mid, about top of the mid of the league there in the 50s, 60s area. It's an offense that can get the job done. On the defensive side, going against the pass, you got an opponent's pass completion of 58%, 33. Okay, top 40 in the league. Opponent's pass yards a game, top 15. So they've got a lot of bright spots here. We know that FSU's rushing offense is completely terrible. So the fact that they're going to be able to also sustain when it comes to their the Duke Blue Devils are going to be able to sustain in their passing defense does not spell well for Florida State. Then looking at their turnover margin, very well. Okay, this is probably the highlight. This and their red zone defense are the biggest highlights, and I'm going to say their biggest path to victory for Duke, because I do think Duke's going to win this game. Not very. I don't think it's going to be a what's it called? I don't think it's going to be a clean game for Duke. But this turnover margin being mid to top tier there, not taking care of the ball in a top 30 clip. This is a bottom to mid tier offense that is taking care of the ball at a mid to top tier level. And then on the defensive side, also being able to generate turnovers and get takeaways. Top 50, you want to see something a little better there, but takeaways a game, I mean, top 25 in the nation in opponent interceptions, though, about mid. All right, so we want to see our DBs get a little hawkish and get hawky when we can get hawked up, no Tony. So I think the paths to victory here are pretty clear. FSU needs to shock Duke. They need to really get this defense, and they need defense on their heels, and they need to convert third downs. They need to get some time of possession. They need to hold the ball. They need to outlast this defense that is amazing at getting off the field. For Duke, just play the great the great third down defense that you've been playing, and continue to take care of the ball the way that you can. And FSU's just not going to have any of the firepower or the cohesion to keep up with you, because y'all are a team that is 5-1. Y'all are playing for something that y'all know who y'all are. Y'all have an identity, okay? When it comes to FSU, they don't have an identity yet. They're banking and hoping that Brock Glenn can be that thing, that spark that can take them to the next level. I think this is a low-scoring affair, though. This is a Duke Blue Devil offense that doesn't seem to be super effective, but this is a Florida State defense that also is not very effective either. So I'm looking at probably like a 21-13 score here. FSU gets a touchdown or two. They kick a field goal, and then Duke gets 3 touchdowns. They go about their day, and it's very sporadic, very spread out, and it's a slug fest. But you have to let me know, get in the comments, predict this game. Are you an FSU fan? Are you a Duke Devils fan? Are you a gosh dang lover of ACC chaos? Because I think this could be interesting. I think Florida State can shut me up. Again, my predictions are just based off stats, looking at things and how I feel. I like being wrong. I like upsets, and I like predicting the wrong direction. But what it sees, even what the books say at 3 points, I mean, it don't look great for the cinnamon rolls. But hey, man, y'all be phenomenal. Hope you like this video. If you like it, dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe, jump up and down, do what you do, how you do, the way you want to do it if you're enjoying these videos. And we'll see you next time.